Man, this is the kind of place I like to hang out, especially with good company. How you doing, Eduardo?
Very good.
Good to see
nice
you
to meet
again.
you again.
So we're looking at a table of rifles here. You are very familiar with the Steyr rifles.
Yep.
Of course. And I wanted you to kind of give folks who have never seen any of these and don't really know what the product lineup is, kind of a general overview of what's available
Sure.
for different applications. Would you like to start with kind of something in the budget range and then work our way up?
I think it's better on the smaller calibers. Actually, the I think that most everybody knows about the Scout rifles.
The Scout rifle, okay.
Jeff Cooper Scout rifle.
Okay.
This is a very light, very light rifle, and it's offered in many different calibers, especially the 308, which is the one I would select. It has the typical features of every Scout rifle. It has magazine on the front, magazine on the rear. You can still attach the 10-round extension, which you can see in here.
Okay.
You can actually attach this extension to any of the pro hunters or the Scouts. So
Okay.
you can make them into 10-rounders. And it has a long Picatinny, perfect for fitting the typical scopes from Scout rifles, which you can see down there on other Scouts. Actually, we had the open house recently, and there's a lot of stock that has left. But you can still see some of the. These are dipped by a company, a local company called Jay's. He's doing a very good job.
Okay.
In dipping them.
So the application here would be for scouting, hunting.
This rifle is perfect if you only had one rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe this would be like the perfect one rifle, because it's very accurate. It's not a gun that you can shoot 20 rounds in a row, because the barrel, to make it so light, the barrel is a little skinny.
Mm-hmm.
It will heat up, but it's a very nice rifle, very accurate. You can still shoot anything. You can hunt in the northern hemisphere with a 308. So here you have something that you can live, hunt, protect yourself with ease, and it's very light, very light. This is one of the
What
reasons.
is the weight on this rifle, Eduardo?
It's around 2 kilos,
Okay.
two something. I don't have the exact number, but it's very light.
And what cartridges are these available in?
308, 223. They're coming out with a 6.5 supposedly
Okay.
this year. It's a very nice rifle.
And what twist rate is on this one with the
This
308?
This is a 112.
Okay.
Eventually, they have had some 110s, but I need to check because they also had fluted and threaded. Now all of them are threaded. All of them are threaded now and fluted, which is nice.
Okay.
So you don't have to take care
And
of
we
that.
have some nice features here.
Yeah, you also have the
Back up, flip
the
up
backup
sights.
flip up sights, which are good. I mean, you actually, it's convenient. It's nice. I like backup sights just in case. But if you don't use red dots, like EOTechs, things like that are very battery dependent, you shouldn't need. With normal scopes right now, they're very reliable. I don't see like lots of scopes breaking nowadays.
Now, when
Very
we
nice.
attended your Steyr training academy, we were talking about the chamberings of rifles, and you mentioned that these are in CIP.
Yep.
Can you explain a little bit what the point of that is?
Sure. There are two types of standardization for chambers: SAMI, which is the U.S., and CAP, which is the international one. It's based in Europe, and it standardizes the chamber measurements for the rifles, mostly made in Europe and the world. So they have slightly different chambers and longer throats. So they are not designed for a certain bullet. You can shoot any bullet on basically any rifle. And they are not dependent on the bullets, so you can actually have less issues if you try to shoot on a regular 308 chamber at 220 grain bullet, which normally on chambers done in the U.S. you would get on the lands.
Okay, so the philosophy with these rifles was to make them compatible with any kind of ammunition, bullet profiles.
Versatility, but that doesn't mean that you're not accurate.
Right.
Which actually, if you think about Seiko, Security International's, Big Tricks, Steyrs, all these European rifles, Ruger and Thomas, they have proven that they are one of the most accurate. Each of them have proven to be very, very accurate. So you don't have to tie your gun into a SAMI match chamber and try to reach the lands like the bench race guys do, which is awesome for them, but it degrades your versatility. You can still be very, very accurate and have a CAP chamber that allows you to shoot basically anything.
Now, are all the Steyr bolt action rifles configured with that same?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Steyr rifles are made with CAP chambers.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
International style.
Okay. And what's the next upgrade? Now, this is a very lightweight configuration rifle. This would be great for climbing up mountains.
Yep.
Like you said, if you had one rifle, this might be a good way to go. What's the price point approximately on these?
Can you count it down? I'll find the numbers.
Okay, no problem. We'll throw that in the description, Eduardo.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
Okay, because I don't know the prices. But I know that these are around 1,500, something like that.
Okay.
Because they have the price tab around here. Yeah, 1,200, 1,300.
Okay.
So basically, the next step up is the Pro Hunter rifle.
And that's the one that we looked at when we were at the academy the other day.
Yes,
In
yes.
good detail.
Actually, that was the rifle that was at the academy.
Okay.
And,
So if you haven't seen this rifle yet, you can watch the video we're going to post here in the near future where we're talking at the Steyr Academy showing off all the features on this rifle. But that's a little bit heavier barrel configuration.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, this one is a 6.5 Creedmoor, both of them.
Okay.
This one is what you can do to upgrade the regular 6.5 Creedmoor Pro Hunter heavy barrel, which is this one. Mm-hmm. And this one you can upgrade it with chickpeas, with this made of Kydex. You have the extender, 210 round. You can attach a Picatinny to the front.
Now, a
And,
question I had, Eduardo, the 10-round extender, is that a feature you can add to most of the different rifles if you want to add it on?
Most of them, and it's the same magazine that you have on the SSG-08s.
Okay.
It's a very reliable and very long magazine.
Okay.
If you see, it's you can actually fit very long bullets on this one. You're not tied down by the magazine length.
So you can have some flexibility in your loads.
Actually, especially with the 6.5 Creedmoors, they run into lots of trouble because of the long bullets on the 308 length magazines. You won't find those problems here.
Okay.
And you can also do with a 5 round, which is this one. But if you decide that you want to go 10 rounds, it's a CCS, just a couple screws, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, the action screws hold it. It's very, very nice.
Okay.
This is the basic thing, the basic rifle with the basic stock from Steyr. But we now also have the 6.5 Creedmoor Pro Hunters. I mean, for the Pro Hunter, you can get it on any caliber with the Macmillan and Manners stocks, which are very, very nice. And this one is, I mean, everybody knows the Macmillan stock. They have done a special model for us, and it's
that's beautiful.
it's a beautiful stock.
That might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's very nice, still very light, and you can also adapt the 10-round
Okay.
magazine on here. And as always, you have the 3-position safety, which as you can see, you have safety, and then you have like a lock on cock on the 1911. Now you have the firing pin disengaged, but still cocked. So going to fire, you can even close the bolt, which actually makes a very, very thin profile on the rifle. You can go to save and shoot,
Okay.
which is very, very nice. It's a very convenient feature, especially when you have a lot of movement and you don't want the profile to be bigger. And it's a very good feature. And the trigger pull is, as you can see, it's very, very good. And that's the standard trigger. That's the standard trigger on all the pro hunters. Nothing fancy here, nothing custom. It's just the standard trigger that comes with all the pro hunter rifles.
And that's a pretty well proven design trigger as well in terms of reliability in adverse conditions.
I haven't seen any. Actually, I was talking to Seth about it. I've been shooting the SSG-08s for many, many years now, and you can even adjust them. It's adjustable trigger. It's not recommended, but you can do it, and you can get it to 2 pounds if you need or want something. You have fully adjustable trigger, but Steyr doesn't recommend it because it works fine as it is right now.
So the Pro Hunter was available in the Macmillan and what other stock
Tom
options?
Manners.
The Manners?
Yep,
Okay.
the Manners. It's designed more or less so the PRS guys can get a competitive gun with a superb Steyr action and barrel, still under $2,000, around $2,000, and have a competitive kit that you just can go directly to any competition with the rifle instead of having to start customization. And so these rifles shoot so good. I mean, it's as good as any custom rifle anywhere, and they are only $2,000. So
I can attest to that.
it's very, very good.
Now,
Actually,
which profile Macmillan is on this one here? Do you know which stock that is?
they modified. They did a
So it's
special-
custom for
It's
Steyr.
custom for Steyr.
Okay.
It's a custom design they did for Steyr because they modified the molds and everything.
Correct.
So it could actually fit the magazine extender.
Yep.
Right here, and
Yep.
and the feature, everything has to be custom because the feature like the folding of the bipod.
And I do prefer this cheek piece adjustment design too. That's a good
Yeah,
feature.
it's very nice. Very,
Okay.
very nice. It works very good.
What else do
And
we have here,
if
Eduardo?
we go back to the pro hunters, if you don't want to spend the $2,000, you can still get a fantastic pro hunter rifle with like this. I love this one. It's fantastic. A 308 with a 16-inch barrel.
Oh, wow.
It's only this is a fantastic shooting rifle. It's incredibly accurate, and it's light. I mean, if very light.
Yeah, you could hump
around
that
3
around all
kilos.
day.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's about I'd say under about 5 pounds.
Yeah,
For sure.
Look,
Yeah.
compare. It's
It's just a touch heavier.
but
than
you
the
can
Scout.
shoot any amount of rounds on this
Right.
one.
More stout barrel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they shoot incredibly well.
And this is 5/8 to 24?
Yes, sir. And the screws are all designed for the U.S. market, 1032s.
Okay.
Actually, Steyr is making all the rifles that come to the U.S. right now with U.S. threads.
Okay.
So I see this has a 20 MOA rail. Does that come
Yes.
standard, or
Yeah,
can you get
it
different?
It comes standard.
And you have 3 screws attachment here and here.
Yep. So that means that you will find from Steyr lots of reliability built into the systems.
That's very nice.
You don't find Picatinis with only 2 screws.
And what were the specs on these screws again, Eduardo?
1032s.
1032.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So this one can also
This is built like a
lock
tank.
down.
It will close down. You can see that there's 2 designs of bolts. You have the butter knife, which is preferred by some hunters.
Butter knife. Yep. I was gonna
They
ask
call
you
it the
about
butter
that.
knife.
Yep. My
And,
first rifle
and
was one
also
of them.
the round ball.
Yep. Which one do you prefer?
I am tainted because of my sniper and competition origins. I prefer the round ball, but I still have an SSG 69 with the butter knife. One of the first sniper rifles I had when I was just a kid, and this it only came with the butter knife, and it works fine. So.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's nice, and when it locks, it goes. Can you see the profile? It's very difficult to
Yes.
find a lower profile than this.
Yep.
So for some people, that's very, very important, and it works just as good.
Okay.
I mean, if you grab it, the feeling of the bolt in your
Yep,
hand
yep.
is very good. But it's true that it's not as tactical looking as the round bolt. Gotta be tactical. Yeah. The cool factor is also a factor. We have to be realistic.
Now, does Steyr still offer the SSG 69?
No, not anymore.
So what has replaced that? What if I'm looking for something that's going to be that? What's their premier
Their
sniper
SSG
rifle?
line, which is the sniper line, starts with the SSG 04.
Okay.
Actually, all the SBS action rifles, which is this one, are basically the same action and same barrel.
Okay.
The SSG 08s are the top of the line, SSG 08 standard and SSG 08 A1, which is the long Picatinny. They are both incredibly accurate,
So it's the same action as on the.
same action.
Now,
And
is the action here is different than the action on the
same
Scouts?
one? Same one.
Same-
No, on the Scouts, yes. This is a inline tube,
Okay.
and the barrel is attached differently.
Okay.
It's all the SBS actions have, but and the old elites they are different. But all
And
the new ones are the same. You
And the
can-
Pro
you-
Hunter, which actions?
just the same. You can actually get a Pro Hunter and put it on an SSG
Okay.
stock. It's just the same.
Okay.
This is the SSG 08
Okay.
A1. This comes from a military unit. They have been testing it thoroughly, and they were very, very, very impressed. And this is the carbon fiber version with a carbon fiber stock, which they painted green to make it flashy for a show, for the show. I would rather go
Rattle
flat.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will trial on it. but people like it flashy, and
So let's go over some of the features on the 04 here real quick.
it's basic. The 04 is basically the entry line for the SSG sniper systems.
Okay.
It is in service in many places in the world.
So this is an issued sniper rifle
Yep.
all over the place.
Even Russian Spetsnaz have it in large numbers. So this is a very good rifle. It's just as good as the SSG 08, but lacks the ergonomy and the chassis system.
Okay.
And it has a fantastic, even it's more adjust. I mean, the trigger is just as good, but this one is fully adjustable. So it comes from factory a little lighter, and has the same magazine, 10 rounds. Mm-hmm. This one is I think it's a 300 Win Mag. Yeah, 300 Win Mag.
Okay.
And they come with a muzzle brake,
Okay.
which actually works very, very good. I really like this muzzle brake, which is actually compatible with Nato suppressors,
Okay.
which is it's rounded and trued, and you have the pins, standard locking pins. So
Now, what's the NATO suppressor?
okay, for those in the U.S., you don't have a standard with suppressors, but NATO has a standard Stanag for suppressors, which actually, if you can see here, it's a concentric tube with a pin that goes down.
Okay.
And basically, even though most people don't use it anymore, they use their own standards. There's a standard for suppressor, which is
Okay.
this is compatible with. Okay. Basically, the difference comes on the back. This has an adjustable butt stock.
You can move that quite a
that you
bit
can
up.
move it- Yeah, you can move it up. And also the cheek piece, which is adjustable
Very
too.
adjustable.
So
So you
ba-
can get
basi-
that bore line centered on with your
Yeah,
butt stock.
actually, you can really shoot with your butt stock. You know that we talked about this before. I really like it to be able to raise it so you can keep the recoil under control in line. This one is just the entry model. If you want to step up, then you have the carbon fiber one, which is this one, just showed you. And then you have the SSG 08
Okay.
and the SSG 08A1, which is the newest model. This, as you can see, there's a little difference. This is on the back. This is more oriented for the police, and this is more oriented for the military.
Now, can you show some
The-
of the feature
the-
differences here?
They have the same butt stock that you can adjust. with these.
Okay.
But they have a very, very unique monopod, which is on the rear, which you can, when you go into position, you just let it loose.
Now, did you hit a button to do that?
Yeah, on the other side, look. Here, so you're in position and you press the button. Once you have it in the right position, you just,
Instantly adjustable.
and you still have a rough turn and a even finer one on the rear that you can see here. So, actually, without doubt, it's the best monopod on the market, without any doubt. It's in service, it's very rugged, the same design, basic design, is also applied to the 50s, to the HS50 M1.
Okay.
And it really, really worked fine. These guns are incredibly accurate.
Okay.
I don't mean to say that they are more accurate than anybody else's top line guns, but they are just as good as anything from the top manufacturers.
No, I can say, when we took these out and did some testing with them, you and I, Eduardo, we fed it maybe 9 different kinds of ammunition.
Half
and
a minute with
I
all.
think everything shot under a half minute,
Yeah.
out to 1,200 yards.
Yeah, it's very impressive. It's very normal to make one-hole groups
Yeah.
with boxed ammunition. You don't have to reload for these guns, because there are many. That's a big issue with most chambers. You have to actually reload for them because they are very specific on the throats and the bullets they will take. You can throw anything on these rifles, even 147 grainers, they shoot fine, because the throats. I mean, it's a matter, as I told, it's something which is related to the quality of build and the throats they have, and
Okay.
the CAP chambers are in my opinion, the way to go.
Yeah, I think when we went out and shot the SSG-08 A1, right?
Yep.
I believe that day we shot some 150 grainers out to 1,000
Yep.
yards.
Yep, and they,
I mean, we were grouping them well within a
They
half
were
minute and a
fine.
grand, so.
you can have the 308s on 110s and 112s, which is very convenient. I mean, 112 is fine for most people, but if you want to shoot heavy bullets or very far, then you need some more extra twist.
Would you like to show us the bipod?
Yeah, the bipod is also very, very unique. Steyr still likes, which I really think so, the stud system, which is why? Because it's so close to the bore.
Okay.
The stud system
Yep.
gets the bipod just like the Curious Internationals and other companies have.
And can you tension this bipod in terms of?
Sure, you can actually lock it as much as you want until you can barely move it.
Okay.
It has very wide feet, so actually, if you lock it real hard, the rifle will stay on position straight away. The bipod legs are very, very rugged. You can jump all over this bipod. And if you want a rubber contact, I mean, what I do on mine, if I paint it with those rubber finishes.
So you don't have it
Home
on
Depot.
a hard surface.
Yeah. Some people like the hard surface, some people don't. I prefer to have rubberized, so I just paint it with
Okay.
Okay. So this is okay.
And this that rifle back here, the feature difference is the
It's
rail.
basically, if you check the stock, the front end is just the same, but this one has the extra longer Picatinny.
You can attach a VAS or something in front
Yeah,
of the
you
daytime
can,
optic.
you can get thermals. One feature which is very, very interesting to see is that the Picatinis here are not, all the screws are working not in shear mode, but they're inserted in a channel.
Okay.
So the actual screw doesn't hold any torque or any weight. It's the channel itself that holds it.
That's a good design.
And I have seen many of these Picatinis tore out because of heavy hits or heavy weight on the night vision or thermals. You can just jump over this. You will never break it. Because actually, you could even glue them in without the screws. They will stay there because they are so tight. So it's something that is very unique. You don't find it.
Okay.
And they also, all of them have a UAT rail. in case you want it on the bottom.
All right.
And of course, you have an adapter for the Picatinny, and you have Picatinny rails that you can get on the UAT. So it's these two rifles are just the same in regards of accuracy. The only difference is the way the rear stock. This one is fully adjustable without in length of pull, and this one doesn't have the. You have to add spacers on this one. And this one, you have a button here. You press it. You open it up, and then you just press in and out. And the detail on this is how tight it is when you lock it in position, because
So your locking lever, can
It's-
you demonstrate that again? Eduardo?
sure, look, if you put it this way, it's easier to see. It's you have a locking lever here, so you open it up, then you can move it. But it
Still
would
have that little bit of play.
it will never rattle once you have it there, because with this lever it tensions. It
Oh,
tensions.
yeah, that's tension good.
And now, you won't see the typical flimsy and little movement many chassis systems have
And that's
on
been
the
a
rear.
weakness of a lot of those adjustable
Yeah.
systems is not being able to be tensioned down tight.
Yes, and this one, actually, you can have the butt stock adjustable also, but you will never see. Actually, my own SSG-08 is, I think I got it in 08 or 09. It has over 4,000 rounds, and there's no movement at all. So, nothing that you can perceive. This hinge is very well adjusted. It doesn't need any tensioning screws or adjustable, nothing. It just goes in, and it will never ever move. It goes out. I mean, the attention to detail and quality of build is one of the most impressive in the market. You don't. It doesn't get any better. So, of
Want to
course.
do a quick overview on some of the big bores?
Sure. Actually, you have the single shots. This is a hybrid unit, which has the barrel and Picatinny from the one fed with the magazine, which is the M1, which is here, combined to the single shot. All the barrels can go on any rifle. There are headspace, so all the bolts will work with any barrel. You can get a 460 barrel right here. One characteristic of all the Steyr rifles is that they are fully interchangeable, everything. So you don't have to headspace any barrel. I could take this 6.5 barrel, sorry, no, this one, 6.5, put it on the 308, and it will be a headspace. So that's very convenient if you want to change the barrels. As I said, this is the single shot 50, and this is the magazine loaded 50, which is very unique because it has it on the side. They painted it to make it flashy, and now it's a little tight, but it's flashy. I like the flame thing. I wouldn't.
Got to listen to rock and roll when you're running that
I mean,
one.
J Customs does an awesome work in painting the rifles and dipping them.
I would totally field that. You could get far enough away to where it wouldn't matter.
Nah, I wouldn't feel like shooting that gun. It's too beautiful. I'm more a rattle can guy. Not even Cerakote is even too good for me.
Sure.
But this is the 50 cal and this is the 460. Both rifles are, as I said, are fully compatible. You can take the barrels and put them anywhere. They are disassembled with 2 screws. This is the 460 Steyr ammunition. You can see. It's not a turned down 50 cal, which always has some issues with the necks. It's built as a 460 from scratch.
Okay.
And
So is there a mother case to this at all?
no,
or-
it's made directly from the cup to the 460.
Oh, what the heck.
It's they don't make it. It's not a modified 50. So it's a very good case, very fine. If you check the necks, They're very nice. This is the short version of the same load. We have the same load on for both rifles.
Okay.
And we have a competition load that only works on the single shot, which is longer.
Okay.
That's the only difference. The bullet is the same, and the powder is the same. The only difference is the bullet length. So you get a little more accuracy on the longer one.
Now, at the Steyr Academy, we did go over some of the external
Yep.
and terminal ballistic advantages of this round over some of the other competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give us a real brief overview of its performance in comparison to some of the popular other cartridges out there in the ELR world?
Sure. Actually, ELR world is evolving, and one of the reasons that most of us are involved with ELR is that it is a test bench for technologies. This caliber was designed not for ELR. It was designed so the Californian guys could get a 50 cal size rifle.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anyway, make yourself at home and
are you? We are taping a video. We are taping a video right now for the stream.
Okay, can you just stay out?
can he be quiet?
Yeah, sure. You can go around anyway.
Yeah, maybe just kind of avoid the-
Okay, so basically, the 460 Steyr was designed for the Californian guys, so they could have a 50 cal size and power rifle. In the end, it didn't catch up with the Californian guys. For the Californian guys, sorry.
Freudian slip, is that what that was?
No, actually, don't think I did it on purpose. I'm Spanish. Don't forget I'm Spanish.
No, it's all right.
Eventually, those.
It's
things
the
happen.
accent, guys.
Yeah,
It's the accent.
But this round has been under my focus since day one. I had it on my mind for a long time. The problem is that we didn't have the resources to make it work. But that changed when Randy Powell from Thunder Ammo started bringing to the U.S. cases and making bullets, and that means that we now have a source of bullets and cases, and now we are starting to prove the performance of this caliber. Of course, right now the top calibers are the 416 Barretts and the 375 CheyTac and some Wildcats, but we are starting to prove that this can be the king of the calibers for ELR simply by physics. We push a heavier bullet faster and stable. So in the end, when more people started shooting it, we will prove that actually this is the way to go if you want to shoot very, very far. And it works on a 50 cal bolt, so it works on the same on any action that will work for a 50 cal or a 416 Barrett.
Okay.
And it has already won competitions in ELR, and we've done some testing. It was very impressive. A day before the open house, me and Randy Powell went with some friends and shot very, very tight groups and very consistent performance with this. So we are very happy with the performance. We think that this year is going to be a very good year for the 460 Steyr. We have the power, we have the bullets. There are some more people coming out with new bullets, like cutting edge bullets. Dan Schmidtko is making bullets also. Mm-hmm. We have bullets made in Spain, in Italy, in Germany. So we will have brass, bullets, what we need. And now we have rifles. Actually, this is an out-of-the-box rifle, and it pushes the 560 grain bullet at 3,200 feet, which is very, very high. And you can even get higher speeds with a longer barrel. This is not very long; it's only 35.
And what's your ballistic coefficient on this particular projectile?
Over 1.
Yeah, so it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's 470 something G7s. Of course, we are still refining the numbers because, it's not so easy to get a G7 on a bullet that is custom made. Mm-hmm. But we are up to now. We are getting very, very good first round hits. So our numbers are right, and it's nice. It's the same basic design that has won a lot of world championships in the 50 cal. The 802 tests from Thunder Ammo, they downsized it, and it's working very, very, very good. So if you want to get into the ELR game with a out of the box rifle, it doesn't get any better than the 460 Steyr and one of these babies. You don't need the magazine if you want, and you can also add the adjustable chickpeas and all the features from that rifle. You can adapt it to this one. It's not a problem.
So, in your personal opinion, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. If you could only have one rifle, you're going to be dropped off at an unknown location in the world in a Mad Max type scenario. Which one of these rifles would you want to have to cross the world and try to find a safe spot?
I would get the 308 with one of these stocks. It's a beautiful stock. It's very rugged, very reliable. And 308, like 20 inches, something like this, a little longer, like that one, a 20 inch. With that stock, that would be perfect. Or even this one. I mean, it's light. You can go anywhere. You can shoot anything under 1,000 yards, even more with this. We were shooting 1,200 with these barrels 2 days ago.
Yeah, we were watching the other
And,
day. They're doing pretty good.
And it's a beautiful rifle that it's not very expensive. It's about, look, this one retails for $1,000. I mean, this is a special price because of the open house, but they are around $1,500, so it's not very expensive, and it's a beautiful rifle. And you can fit all kinds of stuff to it. You can get muzzle brakes, you can get a longer Picatinny. We actually have one with a longer Picatinny, with a full-size Picatinny also. Which is this one, look. I think this one is a 308. No, it's 6.5. This is a beautiful rifle. But for the end of the world thing, I will never use a 6.5 Creedmoor. I would use a 308. You can find ammunition anywhere.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, and in Africa, in Russia, and anywhere, you can find 308. So I would judge. But if you want the performance, the 6.5 outperforms the 308. That's no doubt. So this is basically the full line of the Steyr precision rifles that we use on the Academy. And one more thing, which is important. If you want to try one, it's as easy as joining the Academy. Because right now you can test the rifle for free at the Academy. You get the ammo, and you can test any of these rifles for free while you take the course. So if you ever wondered how was it to shoot one of these Steyr rifles, even the SSG-08s or the SSG-04s, we can bring you to the Academy. You can run through the courses and have the experience of shooting one of these for free.